Guys, hello and welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're back with some more Formula 1 My Team career mode here after what was a massive W at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. That one was very nice for our team. Oh, 5 pairs off. Just having a look at what we can do here. Might grab them. Yeah, we've got stuff to do now. Azerbaijan Grand Prix weekend. There will be a new engine in the back of our car for FP3 and onwards, or new parts of our car as we get most of our stuff in. So that's quite good. The component change we got is the turbocharger, the MGUH, MGUK and the ICE. They're all going to be changed after FP3, with everything else staying the same, but it looks like there'll definitely be engine penalties this season, which won't affect us too much as we currently sit 5th in the standing, 4th in the constructors, but we'll drop down from that. But yeah, let's jump into Saturday qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So we're here at this at Azerbaijan for Q2 here. I'm sorry about losing the Q1 footage. It was just your stock standard lap, but we are flying down here. A minute to go in the session as we are going to start our first qualifying lap of Q2. If we don't get this one right and get us into the top 10, then we are out of qualifying and have to start outside the top 10 for this Azerbaijan race, which isn't ideal, but neither is trying to defend down the main straight when your opponent has DRS. That's not ideal either. But it doesn't really matter. As we are slower than Carlos Sainz in the first sector, but I was making up all my time in the middle sector, so we should be okay. Or am I a bit slow compared to the Spaniard on the medium tyres here in Q2? Because I don't feel like I'm gaining anything. I guess we have to see the sector times at the end of Q2, the end of sector 2. Because I'd need a big sector, 6/10 in the middle sector. That's massive time gained on Carlos Sainz, though he'd be out here as well, as we are flying. Down tools are going to be the last one across the line here. Whatever we do is going to be final. We need about a early 143s. We're going to get there. It's a 142, and that should be top 10. If it's not top 10, then everyone's putting great laps. It's a good lap from us, and hopefully we can go into Q3 with a bit of confidence. No, we're out. Wow, Fernando Alonso just pips us by 6-7 thousandths of a second. That is quite annoying, but it gives us the option to maybe jump onto the medium tyre. So let's jump into this Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
One of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The Baku City Circuit measures roughly 6 kilometers and is made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow city, through the old town, and even brushes against the city's medieval walls. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Perez, Lando Norris, and Leclerc, Sainz, Ricciardo, Gasly, and Fernando Alonso. The owner driver, Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon, and Vettel, Stroll, Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Kimi Raikkonen, Schwartzman, Mick Schumacher, Latifi, and
Alright, so we're here for this race. The strategy looks to be the soft to the medium. Hopefully no brushes against the walls can be made here, as we're here for lights out in Azerbaijan. For the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, for 11th on the grid. It is lights out and away we go, and it's in initially a good start. Second phase wasn't the greatest, so we can try and send one down the inside of them. Great move on Ricciardo. We're up into what is P8 now. P8. Chasing the two Ferraris of Leclerc and Sainz in 6 and 7. Catching Leclerc, catching him. Gonna go for the dive down into turn 3, and we're gonna get Sainz as well in the braking zone up to P6, which is good. Early on, now gonna chase after Lando Norris for the top 5 positions. I think where we've been hanging around this season is the top 5, behind the 2 Red Bull and the 2 Mercedes cars. So we can just get some of those solid points. That should be all right for this race, as we are closing up to Lando Norris, trying to be aggressive, trying to use the RS and use all the braking zones as we go very aggressively into a Charles Leclerc and break our front wing in the castle section. That's not a good start to our Grand Prix that we needed. We're going to have to box for the mediums now, as Carlos Sainz is going to try and go around, so we have to kind of let him go as we break our full front wing now. Trying to go aggressively around, this could be a massive problem because we can't steer. We're going to be slow. Yeah, that is a massive problem for us. We're having a big time now. No downforce left on the car. I am trying to get through the corner. Tsunoda tries to chuck one up the side as we touch Tsunoda and come back at him, and we're going to squeeze him. And Tsunoda's out of this race. And that is not what I wanted to happen. But Yuki Tsunoda is out, and the virtual safety car is out, which is going to help us as we fly into the pit lane, as we almost knock our tyre off there. But that's not great for us. That's not going to help us. Although the virtual safety car is very much going to help us, although I've caused it in a way that I didn't really want to, with obviously taking out Yuki Tsunoda. But yeah, that's not what I wanted completely. But it could be good as we come out, and we got to get our delta back up as the VSC is ending. Full speed now, 18 seconds to Nikita Mazepin. Hopefully I can get to somewhere on the back of the top 10. Maybe even grab the lower points. So we jump on to lap 4 now. Nothing much happening, just closing towards the back cars. 9 seconds now to Mazepin. But there are cars going in, the likes of Ricciardo, Alonso and Leclerc, although I don't know, it looks like they might still all jump me, even with my best efforts to catch them, as that is Gasly, the final car. I'm there with them, 7/10 of a second to Gasly. I'm there or thereabouts, but I don't know if I'll be able to keep up with these guys. Although, you never say never. as maybe being up here could help us and let us overtake a decent amount of cars in the next pit stop. But I guess you never know in this funny old game. I was 1 minute I was P6 Hunter P5, the next I'm P21 on a very large back foot now, as we try and make up some more positions here. As we fly down, still chasing Pierre Gasly, right on the fringe of the second mark. As you can see on the minimap, the front cars are boxing for their new boots in this race. Their only pit stop they should get. And I thought that I could have played this strategy to perfection, especially if there was a safety car, but it doesn't look like it's worked out for me. If that virtual safety car had been a full course one, we would have been right in it, and I probably would have boxed anyway. Even had I not broken the wing, had we got a full course safety car at that time, but we didn't get it. As we can beat some cars out, Ocon and Stroll are the main ones, the Alpine and the Aston Martin. We do beat out, but we're behind that 1 second range for Pierre Gasly's. Esteban Ocon can attack us quickly. He's going to look towards the inside, but nothing much there, as we have a big snap at the rear, able to control it, but it allows Ocon back in and extends the gap to Gasly, which is not what we need at this point in time. As we are quicker in the middle sector, not so quick in the first sector, and decently quick in the third sector, it looks like that the straights are my problem. Maybe I've got too much downforce on the car, I'm not sure. But Ocon is closing now. Gonna have to try and defend him. He hooks it down the inside. We try and go around. We can hook it full speed as we get him into the braking zone. Later on the brakes, we keep Esteban Ocon behind us, but it looks like it might be only a matter of time, as he has a lot more speed than we do. But you never say never in this funny old, and hopefully we can just hold off Ocon down this long DRS zone, which could be a problem for us as our teammate goes in the pit lane. Esteban Ocon, we're trying to force him, and he closes on us, going for the move down inside. He hasn't quite got the overspeed, as we can send it around the outside again, as we tap him, and he's gone. And I didn't mean to tap him, but he has spun round, didn't give him enough room on the inside on lap 7, and Esteban Ocon is spun round. That's quite annoying as we jump forward now later on into lap 7. We're catching towards Pierre Gasly and Fernando Alonso, making up time in the middle sector as well as the end of the first and the beginning of the third. But other than that, we're not going to be able to do anything, as our straight line speed is terrible around here, and that has kind of been our big problem, to be honest. From everything, we've got no straight line speed. As we jump forward onto lap 8 now, catching Gasly as we go for the move in towards Castle. We get the move done into P11. Now we just got to get Fernando Alonso, and we're into those points paying positions, which will be massive considering where we were at the end of lap 1 after doing a Charles Leclerc, almost completely binning it at the castle. Not completely, but it was enough to force us to go into the pit lane. As we are just trying to smoke whatever we can out of our car onto lap 9 now. Alonso 1.9 ahead. Gotta make a move on him if we're gonna do anything. If we're gonna get top 10 at least. We just gotta hope that we can do something. 5 laps of fuel remaining. enough laps in the race, about 4.5 to go. As we're, I think again, not going to be close enough to Fernando Alonso to make a move. Now on towards the end of this lap 9. We were still catching him, but now the gap's just going to expand as we hit the straight. And you're going to see exactly why it's going to expand. Because look at the speed that Fernando Alonso is going to pull away. He's just gaining 10th after 10th here. As I think that's an Aston Martin in the pit lane. It is. Sebastian Vettel must be, because Lance Stroll's behind us. So we're going to maybe jump ourselves into some points paying positions now after being last at the end of lap 1. That is a promising sign, as we can try and go on to try and catch Fernando Alonso. So we can jump onto lap 10 here. Lance Stroll behind us, as well as Sebastian Vettel, both kind of within that 1 second. This is going to be dangerous for us. We've got to make sure this works to our advantage, using all the track width. Here comes Lance Stroll, and Sebastian Vettel not on us as we take a block with him, with Lance Stroll. Try and force him to the inside. He can't do much. Can we deny him? We can deny him. We deny Lance Stroll now, but how long have we got until he comes back at us and we start to lose more positions? Because we're just trying to hang on here to our final position, as we have to brake hardly into that corner as they're both going at us. There's going to be a scrappy fight to the end. So now we're here on lap 11. Now, the last part of the lap. Vettel chasing a Stroll behind him. The two Aston Martins braking at high speed now, coming towards us. Here comes Sebastian Vettel around the outside into turn 1. Lance Stroll also there, but doesn't look to be much of a threat, as we can dive down inside Sebastian Vettel. Stroll not able to make much of a challenge. As on to lap 12, we continue to have an advantage in the corners over those two cars, as Stroll's now locked in a battle with George Russell. As we come into turn 3, there's now an issue with our car. They're investigating it. Could they be problematic? I don't think it shouldn't be a game-breaking issue. I think we should be able to grab these final 2 laps and grab ourselves a point, because it's 9 seconds down the road to Fernando Alonso. So no inroads there, as we have 3 laps fuel remaining. But just got to keep our distance to Vettel. Make sure we can make the move into turn 1 on the straight as we jump forward, and it's mechanical failure on lap 12. I was just kind of pausing and repausing the recording as I'm told it is terminal, it is mechanical failure, and it's another retirement after the Portimao retirement. Another one done. That is quite annoying, as Red Bull are your winners here in Azerbaijan. That is quite annoying.
A shining example. Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
So there you have it then. Red Bull winners with Verstappen on top. Once again, Schwartzman finishes 14th for our team. Good result for him. Verstappen with the full 25 points. And then us down in P21. Would have been P10, but the DNF. We stay 5th in the drivers though. and stay 4th in the Constructors. That is a disappointing end to the weekend. So now we're here, we've only got a little bit of time until the Canadian Grand Prix. And, well, that's another annoying end to that one. I'm not sure which part of the car it was. I think it was gearbox again. No, it was the energy store, which is actually not great that it's done that, because now we need another one sooner rather than later. But yeah, that'll be the end of today's video. We stay where we were in the standings. It's an annoying thing to happen in the race, but that's how Formula 1 goes. Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this one. Have a good one, and goodbye.